Okay, my name is Eric McLean, and today I'm going to do a demonstration video on how to play Guards of Atlantis. So we have a couple of things here. We have the map, we have all of the characters over here, and then we have the character select card. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at all of these, get an idea. It tells you up here, it tells you how difficult the character is. So we recommend 1-star heroes for first play. And so to illustrate the game, I'm going to use Brogan. He's a recommended starting character, so I'm going to grab his bag here, move it over, and we'll set his mini over here. There's 3 ways to win the game. The first way is to kill the enemy heroes until these life counters run out. So as they're defeated, you'll flip these over to signify the base draining of energy. And if you ever move it to 0, then you've won the game, right? Same with red team. This number changes based on player count, but we'll just leave them as they are for now. The second way is to defeat their minions. You can attack with the cards that we'll show you later, these cards here. Minions, and if you do, they're instantly defeated, and then you collect some coins, right? If you get rid of all of them, then your wave wins, and then they're able to advance, right? So they'll move up to their next spots here. You can see there's markings on the ground that show you which minions go where when they respawn. So yours will advance, and then a new wave will spawn for them to defend the next zone. So they'll all go in these spots like this. And then if you complete it again, if you beat all of their minions again before they get rid of all of yours, then your people will move into the base, and you will have pushed into their base and won that way, right? So that's the second way to win. And then the last way to win is on time. If you push it forward to here, and then they push it back, and then you push it again, and then eventually that could go on forever, right? So we have a time limit depending on what kind of game you want to play. If you want to play a quick game, it's the 3rd wave. If you want to play a normal or a full game, it's 5 waves. So if it gets back to here and it gets back to the agreed number, so let's say it's 5th wave, then whoever defeats the enemy minions in this wave first will win the game. So that's how you win. What does the gameplay loop look like? Well, you take all of your cards that start, and then I'm missing a green card. There we go. You start off with 5 cards. The enemy team will also start off with 5 cards. Everybody always has 5 cards at the beginning of the game. We all play a card. So I'll play this card. Let's say the enemy plays this card. And then when all of the cards are down by all of the players, we'll flip them over at the same time. Excuse me. So that's a bad example. Let's do this instead. So in this example, we'll look up here at the top. This number on the hourglass is called the initiative, and it signals to us the order in which people will take their turns. So if this snake lady played a 7, then we know that she would go first before my 5, right? When they've taken their turn, they'll take their card and then slot it into their character board area. And then the next person will go. Moving this from here to here signals to everybody at the table that their turn is complete and it's the next person's turn. So now I would do something, and then I would put it here. You play 4 cards like that in a round, and then at the end of the round, everyone collects their cards, goes back to 5, and then we start again from round 2. So that's the gameplay loop: is play cards, flip them over, resolve the cards, slot them here, do that 4 times. So what kind of things can you do during your turn? Let's talk about the anatomy of cards. We already talked about before, we have the initiative up top, which tells us the order in which we go. Most cards have 3 actions, right? There's the primary action, which is what it says here in this banner area. So an attack action or a skill action, right? So you can always perform what's the text on the card or the primary action. You can always perform a secondary action, which is movement, or you can hold. So if I've played this card, then I have the option to move 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, or I have the option to do this, which is an attack action. And the attack action says move 2 spaces in a straight line and then target and then attack, right? So I could go 1, 2, and then attack anything. If you decide to attack a minion, so if I was here and I decided to do a mad dash and I charge 2 spaces and then I attack this minion, it's instantly defeated, and then I collect 2 coins. We'll talk about the coins at the end of the explanation. If I were to attack a hero, so from here, move 1, move 2, then I attack for this number, which is 6, right? And now the enemy hero needs to discard a card from their hand that has a defense value of 6 or higher, right? So I attack for 6 damage. They decide that this is enough. They take this card, put it in their discard, they survive. If they can't do that, if they don't have a card that has enough defense or they don't have any cards at all, then they die and their life counters are calculated. So you take your turn, you move 2 spaces, you attack, you move again, it gets to the end of the round. At the end of the round, 2 things happen. The first is that the minions fight each other. So in this scenario, blue team has less minions. They have 5 to the red team's 6 minions. And so the wave that's bigger, the red team is going to win a little bit. So how many does blue lose? Well, that's the difference in numbers. So 6 minus 5 is 1 minion. The team that owns the minion decides which one is lost. So let's say blue team decides that they're going to get rid of this minion. So that happens at the end of the round. The other thing that happens at the end of the round is that all players must level up as much as possible. How these coins that you collect are used to level up. The first level up costs 1 coin, and then every additional level after that costs 1 additional. So 1 for level 1, 2 for level 2, 3 for level 3, and so on. You'll turn those back into the bank, and then you choose what card you want to level up. So this is one of the coolest things about this game, is that I have this mad dash, right, that lets me move 2 spaces and then attack something. So let's say I want to level that up. I have 2 options. I can upgrade to a better version of it, right? So move 2 or 3 spaces, right? And there's a little bit more defense here as well. Or I can go into something completely different. So this one is a ranged attack that can get that can attack from a distance. Instead of moving into battle, I can just throw an axe from pretty far away. So if I wanted to level these up, I would put this away for the rest of the game and then decide which one of these I wanted. The card that I don't choose is turned into an item that permanently increases my stats. So I can put this here, put this under, and now for the rest of the game, all of my cards have 1 defense in addition to what they already have. So this 4 becomes a 5, this 6 becomes a 7, so on and so forth. This goes into my hand. I always have 5 cards at the end of this process, and then play continues. Couple of things. There are some defense actions. So some cards will let you do cool things if you defend. So this card, for example, if you defended with it, if somebody attacks you and you block with this card, then you're immune to all other enemy attacks for the rest of the turn. So that's something kind of different that you can do. Another different thing that you can do is the snake. She is rare in that because she's a snake, she has movement actions. So she can move on top of doing whatever it is this card allows you to do. Right? So that can occasionally happen as well. The last thing is minion modifiers. This is pretty complicated, so I usually try to save it for last. If I'm standing here and I'm on red team, these melee minions will assist me by providing me extra defense. So if the snake were to attack me, I already have 2 defense from these before the attack calculation. If I'm standing over here, I'm actually at -2, right? So like this 4 becomes a 2. They're actually like hindering me, right? The big immune minions do the same thing like melee minions, but these ones right here, the ranged minions, actually don't help their friends. So this is still at 0, not +1 or -1. But this Brogan at 2 spaces away is subtracted by 1. So he's actually -1, -2, and then -3 total. So where you stand in the map can actually have a big impact on whether you're able to survive attacks or whether you're able to kill enemy heroes and stuff like that. That is it for the demonstration. I hope you found it insightful and enjoyable, and I'll see you in the next one.